Hey guys, this is Skylar. I am completely blind, I'm autistic, and I have a chronic heart condition. Today, I'm going to be talking about how I came to be diagnosed with autism and what was kind of, for me and my mom, I guess, the kind of beginning signs that something was wrong. So, well, for starters, I didn't have, a normal life because I was blind. So, my the normal way of doing things, just couldn't be done. So I was kind of different to begin with, but we didn't know I had autism until I was 11. I was born with it, but we didn't know I had it until I was like 11 years old. And I'm going to talk to you about how I became diagnosed, at least from my perspective. Now, when I was 11, which I think would have been 2003, I started getting hooked on. Well, I've been hooked on words my entire life. Like when I was 8 or even younger, I was hooked on frogs and just the word frog. And when I was like 5 or something, I was hooked on bumblebees and things like that. I used to love bumblebees. So I've always had my little addictions, so to speak, or obsessions, whatever you want to call them. But we never knew, why I had that. All I knew was that, the normal students didn't do that. So when I was 11, was kind of where things started. I was hooked on words that started with the letter Z, as in Zulu. Like I started being obsessed with the name Zachary, and then it kind of just spiraled out of control. I started liking, zombies and zucchini and zebras and zippers, things like that. Anything that started with the letter Z. I still have one zebra that I don't really like, but anyways, so. And one time I went to have fun with my now ex-friend, and the whole time I was there, I was talking about Z words and things that started with Z, and instead of dilly dally, I would say zilly zally and things like that. I was hugely obsessed with the letter Z. And when I came home that day, I got into a huge trouble. Huge. Huge. Because I kept saying a lot of words that started with the letter Z and repeating them and not listening when she told me to stop. So, yeah, anyways. So my mom found out and I got into huge trouble. But we didn't know what was wrong. And then my mom just thought that it was my blindness. Which I knew that wasn't it, because none of my other blind students at the school for the blind, none of them did that. None of them were hooked on words. None of them liked Z's. None of them. It was only me. So, one day, I was asked to go to a child psychologist. She was an angel in disguise. Her name was Miss Perwine. And she's the one who diagnosed me with Asperger syndrome, which is a type of autism. And my aunt read me this book. I don't know the name of it, but every symptom or character trait of autism or Asperger's was in that book, and it fit me to the T. My mom said that book should have been named Skylar, because I had almost every characteristic in that book. And even in that book, it talked about this other boy who was hooked. He had Asperger's, but he could see, and he was hooked on words that started with the letter Z as well. So, it just, I've always had, words and stuff that I've been obsessed with all my life. And that was kind of how it, got the ball rolling at school. Nowadays, I pretty much have a favorite word for almost every letter of the alphabet. I'm not really hooked on Z words in particular right now. I only have one favorite word right now that starts with the letter Z, and that would be zape, and I did a video on that earlier. So, anyways, basically, me being hooked on Z, it kind of started the train rolling as far as diagnosis and stuff like that, and getting me a diagnosis. But I can't tell you how much crap I got before I got the diagnosis. Now to this day, I have, being that technology is the way it is, I have favorite words that I super research and try to learn everything about it and what it means and what it came from and how to use it in a sentence and things like that. So I'm very much these days into etymology, which is the origin of words, and I find it kind of helps you, especially like when you're trying to learn a new language. Etymology can sometimes help you with that, and it can help you learn more about a certain word or word group that you like. So I'm very much into the origins of words and things like that. So I don't even know how many I have. I have about a zillion and one favorite words. I'm not even joking. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I was able to help somebody else. I have lots of other autism videos on my channel. So anyways, hopefully you enjoy this video, and God bless.